So that's the idea of these, is that, they've all been written by spirit to us, because I'm pulling it for us as a group. All right. Just asking what we need to hear from spirit in this moment. Dun, da-da. Okay. Dear you, check in occasionally with yourself about your motives behind actions you plan on taking. We've just been talking about that, especially when you have an end game in mind. Is the source of your motivation desire or entitlement? Maybe you're drawn to a certain path because you think it will bring you a feeling related to the outcome you seek, like safety or wholeness. Know that you will see a reflection in the outer world of the motive that drives you forward. Do you need a motive? Can you simply be pulled in the direction your soul calls you towards? Joy. Oh my goodness, this is so right on. Discovery, growth, or adventure, participating in something compelling and meaningful without trying to define it. If you can step forward, surrendered to whatever spirit has in store for you, you will be amazed at how things turn out. Check your motives, then hand them over to spirit. Everybody here wants the best for you. Life loves you more than you know. Wow, that's great. Um, that is exactly, I mean, this obviously this I pulled it. This could, the caveat always, this could just be for me. And if it strikes a chord in you, great. And that's fantastic. I think it's probably applicable to everybody at the moment. Because I do really feel that we're moving towards a more soul-centered journey again. I mean, it's always been that for me, but there have been periods of time when I've forgotten that, and I've been more in my, mm, I don't know what you would call it, survival or um, strategies of life, rather than just listening to my soul and acting from that place. And lately, it's just come to my attention that I have to prioritize that, So I am inviting us into that exploration together because I do think it's part of a global invitation and initiation too. And really, um, we have so many stories about we can't do it because of XYZ. Whatever it is that your soul wants and desires for nourishment. It's like, oh, can't possibly do that because how am I going to make a living? Or can't possibly do that because my family will, disown me or turn against me or whatever. Um, these are all decisions that we have to make in life. I would just always ask you to consider, is it really true? Or is it just a story that your ego has created to keep you in place, to keep you safe? Remember, the ego's job is always, always to keep us safe. That's what it's for. It's not always right. It just wants to maintain the status quo, to keep us safe. And safe according to what? Because those guidelines have changed. Those guidelines have changed and are changing even more. What is safety is and has always been an internal thing, number one. And I just have such a strong feeling that something shifted. The train that goes along the tracks, and then there's that chick, chick, and then it goes along another track. I just feel I mean, it happens all the time. There's a lot of that going on right now, but there's a distinct one that occurred regarding soul. And perhaps, I just want to throw this out, perhaps what was possible or not possible, ac- you know, in the realm of living your soul's purpose before, perhaps it wasn't as possible as it is now. Perhaps something has opened up that has created that greater possibility, and all of nature is on our side to live that way now. And there's a lot of support for it that perhaps there wasn't previously. And there may not be any support from the overculture, because that's where all the stories live. That's where all the conditioning is. And overculture always wants us to fit in and show up in a way that is more along the lines of our egoic structure, you know? And that's part of the bifurcation that we're living through right now. We're not, as sacred rebels, we are being called more deeply and deeply into this primary relationship with soul and why we came here and how to really be the vehicle for the change on this planet at this time. And going back to edges creates a lot of, you know, feeling like you're walking on a knife edge sometimes, or you're looking over a precipice and you don't know how to move forward. Um, because I think we've looked to different structures to support us in the past, instead of looking to nature, instead of looking to our higher guidance, our multidimensional self, our inner world, our heart, our soul, the places inside of us that are just pure wisdom, that we have access to that. We have those answers if we just listen to our our sacred intelligence. And that's hopefully what I offer through the journey work and through the guided meditations, is that doorway into that native, native being, your own wisdom, which in turn leads to being a coherent human being. And when we have a coherent energy, exactly what we need is attracted to that coherence. And coherence needs to be nurtured and nourished also with love. So we're growing our heart resonance and we're becoming coherent and we're walking through life with a hopefully a new faith that we don't even have to try too hard for what we need to come to us to support us, because we become more and more magnetic that way when we're coherent and aligned with our truth, with our values, and with love.